What's that? This is attempt number 3 to do this recording because I'm never satisfied with my own appearance or words or voice or anything. Let's get started. Hello, Honors Thesis Council, Honors Defense Council. Welcome to my thesis defense. Just kidding. I would never do that to myself. We're going to talk about a star today. We're going to talk about one of those big glowing boys way out there, pretty far away from us, like most of them are, except for the sun, which is pretty close to us relatively. We're going to be talking about something far, far away. 634 light years away, to be exact, is the sun. Nope. Is the star WASP 76. It's named that because there are 76 WASPs there, I think. Orbiting it is a little planet called WASP 76b for baby. It's a gas giant, but it's really, really close, and it's really hot because it's so close, and that's why we call it an ultra-hot gas giant. It's just Jupiter if you don't dumped it in like boiling water, except the boiling water is the sun. And this planet is really cool. This planet's neat because it has some cool features that make it so that absolutely everything is awful, but in a cool way. It's sitting pretty close to its star. The planet's close to the star, so that means that it's just kind of sitting there, hanging out, having a good time. Always keeping the same face towards the sun, not the sun, the star. And that means that it's tidally locked, which means that the same side is always getting cooked, always getting roasted. But the other side is always facing away and is much, much colder because math. Anyways, the hot side and the cold side, the cold dark side and the bright hot side. We looked at light coming off of both of those because light's coming off of things. We can look at it and learn things. And we looked at the light from the bright side, and it had things in it. Light from the bright side told the scientists who were using the very, very large telescope. Sorry, just the very large telescope. The very, very large telescope is something else. Who were using the very large telescope. They looked at it. They looked at the light, and they said, "Wow, iron." Iron is in the atmosphere, but it's not. That's only on the day side. On the night side, it's not there. So what's happening to it? Well, and they look at the temperatures. They find out how hot it is in every place, and it's really, really hot. The daytime side is 2,700 Kelvin, if that's helpful. The nighttime side is like 1,000 degrees colder than that, which means that probably that iron gas is condensing over the nighttime. It's making clouds, and it's raining because that's what clouds do. Iron rain. It rains iron here in the nighttime. To put it in like actual like how it's working terms, they used the light coming off the planet, and they looked at spectra, which is just looking at all the wavelengths and then seeing if any of them are missing. And certain things make certain wavelengths go missing, and if we don't know which thing it is, which we usually do, we then just test things until we find which wavelength is. We test things and we find out which thing makes the wavelength go away. From there, we're able to determine what is somewhere. Wow. We're able to determine if there's something in the atmosphere. This time we saw absorption wavelengths corresponding to iron, neutral iron. And the issue here is, well, not the issue. The fun thing here is, because of how hot that daytime side is, the entire side of it is all the molecules break apart. They all break apart. All the molecules are gone. Not gone, they're just in their component atoms and ions, which makes the entire daytime side all charged up and loose and plasma-ish. And according to the authors of the paper, that means that the electromagnetic friction and the Lorentz force slow down the characteristic timescale for heat advection. I don't know what that means or how to prove that, but it means that the two sides of the planet they don't exchange heat well, and they're always different temperatures, really different temperatures. They stay very different in temperature. But, much as we talked about in class with planet whatever the high heat on one side and low heat on the other means that the hot side has really high scale heights and has really high pressures. So, like compared to the cold side, that is. So there's big winds being driven from hot to cold, and there's air circling around the planet. So things are carried around the planet, but the heat with them isn't. The heat isn't, just the stuff. So the stuff goes over the cold side, and all those atoms and ions that broke apart from the molecules, they dissociated, that is, they reassociate, they associate. I don't know which term to use. But they form things again. So we have iron, and it really wants to be stable, but there's a lot more iron condensing and, well, not condensing yet. There's a lot more iron, and the partial pressure of iron is getting more and more, and then the saturation pressure, because the temperature went down, is getting less and less. And then they meet, and the relative humidity becomes 100% at some point, and the iron is like, oh my god, this is my chance, and it starts to condense into clouds, and then clouds rain. Clouds make rain. That's what they do. Iron rain. And then it goes back on the hot side, and it all dissociates into things again, turns into vapor, and it all starts over again. Yeah. Law 76b. Where it rains. Iron. I'm gonna have to do this again, aren't I?